Welcome to HomeBrewPirates.co.uk. Today we're going to go through a ginger beer. So I'll talk you through all the ingredients we're going to need. It will brew about 12 litres of ginger beer, and then I'll take you through the process of making it up to producing the wort in the barrel, which we'll need to leave for about a week to complete its fermentation process. And then I'll produce a second video taking you through the bottling steps and all that kind of stuff. So let's take a look at the ingredients. Okay, to start off with, most importantly is the ginger. Now we've got a kilo of ginger here. It's fresh root ginger, so you just need to make sure there's no kind of mouldy bits on it. So I just cut them off before you go through the process of chopping it up, but we'll cover that later. Use brown sugar, sultanas, honey, 2 lemons, a lime, yeast, malt extract, and then we've got some ground cinnamon, some ground nutmeg, and finally some ground cloves. In terms of equipment, you're going to need a large cooking pot. I mean, this is probably over large, but it'll do. And then in here I've got a litre of water. And then to brew it in, I have a keg that can hold 25 litres, or brewing barrel. You can purchase this from anywhere, but what I'll do is I'll put all the links where you can get the equipment from in the blog a bit later. And then inside I've just got sterilising some of the equipment I'll need just to stir it and everything, because you need to make sure everything's sterilised to keep it nice and clean so you don't damage your yeast or get any impurities in there. Okay, now I'm just going to go away and get the ginger chops and everything prepped and measured up, and you can see how quantities you need from the recipe I'll put on, and then we'll go for the cooking stage. Okay, so I've chopped all the ginger up. And I have juiced and zested the lemons and lime. These are the spices, they're just put them all in a simple pot, easy to put away, and there's the sugar way down. So first off, you need to add the lemon lime juice to the pot. Give it a couple of seconds. And then you need to add the ginger. Now I'm just going to put this down so I don't spill the ginger everywhere, so bear with me a second. The ginger added, so just give that a stir with the sterilised spoon. A little bit of a stir. Get it mixed in. Right, now just let that simmer for a couple of minutes, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so that's had a couple of minutes to simmer away. I've also added a further litre of boiled hot water just to give it a bit more room in the pan. Okay, so next you need to add your sugars. So first off is the malt beer enhancer, so just empty that in. Okay, that's that all in. Give it a good stir. Okay, now the sugar. A good stir again. Then the spices. Mixed in. Go. And finally the honey. Now I'm not going to measure out the honey too much because it's quite obviously messy, so probably need about 150 grams, so about a third. So just give it a good old squeeze. Yeah, that'll do. Just put a little bit more. Oh well. Right, so we can give that a good stir. Right, now you just need to leave it for about half an hour just to simmer away, and whilst that's simmering away, you can measure out your sultanas, and just pop them straight into your fermenting barrel. Yeah, just to wait for a load of this. Okay, I'll be back once this is finished simmering. Okay, so this has been simmering for about half an hour now. So what I'm going to do is just lift it off of the heat, just to let it cool a little bit. And half an hour now. So what I'm going to do is just lift it off of the heat, just to let it cool a little bit. And before we transfer the contents of the saucepan into the fermenting barrel, and then once that's in, we'll top it up to the 12 litre mark with some cold water. And then add the yeast and give it a jolly good stir, and also we'll take a reading to see how much sugar and what the alcohol content might be. Okay, so back in a moment. I've transferred the contents of the saucepan. That is now in the fermenting barrel. You can see in here, there we go. Now, this is going to be far too hot to put the yeast in, but we need to fill it up anyway, so I'm going to put a further 12 litres of cold water in, and then we'll use the hydrometer to see what potential alcohol content will be. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fill it up, and I'll be back in a moment. So I've topped this up with cold water. It's roughly about 13 litres of liquid in here now, but it's still roughly about 29-30 degrees. So it's still too hot for the yeast, so I'm going to leave it to stand for a bit. I'll put the top on to stop anything and get it in, and go and have a coffee and come back in half an hour, and hopefully it'll be ready to put the yeast in. So the water's now cooled down enough for me to put the yeast in, so here we go. Just pop that in. Make sure it's all in, and then give a good stir. We'll okay, that's that bit done. Right, now last point of call before we seal it up is to take a sample, so we can use the hydrometer to see what the alcohol is. So this is what I've got here. This is just for drawing a sample from the barrel. So just stick that in. Take a big. It's taking a while. That's probably why it's bundled with ginger. Just take a couple of them. The reason why I'm not just sticking the vessel in is just to stop any contamination. Sort of sterilise this pipette. This is actually a turkey based, to be perfectly honest. The only problem is it's getting all stuffed up full of ginger. There we go. Helps if I look what I'm doing. Okay. So just, as you see, I'm just filling that up. Right, that should be enough to put the hydrometer in. Okay, so let's pop that there. Go and get the hydrometer. Now this will tell you, we'll take a reading now, and then take a reading when we bottle it, and it will show us what the content is. Let's see if that's enough. There we go. Right, so let's have a look. Okay, so it is the reading. Let's have a look at what's that? It's around about the 105 mark. So the start beer session. So that looks about right. So I'll make a note of that. Then when we come to the bottle up stage, I'll put the workings out of how you then can calculate how alcoholic your beer is. But yeah, so last point of call is to seal the unit up. So put a bit of Vaseline around the rim and just screw it on tight. Having put some water in your air trap, and then let it do its stuff, and I will see you in a week.